Live streaming is on.
And we're live with the 6th Research Roundup. I'm very excited to go over the good news that's been happening in the Common Stack space in the last couple of weeks. Well, and I think the most obvious place to start is with conviction voting, huh?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have done so much good work on conviction voting, Jeff, with the One Hive team and stuff. Do you want to just give an overview of what has been going on in the last month or so?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, the Common Stack has been talking about conviction voting for quite a while now. Yeah, recently there's been some really exciting developments. So Block Science and One Hive and Aragon and the Common Stack just finished up the cadCAD model of conviction voting for the One Hive ecosystem. So that was really cool. Right after that, Aragon just launched their first conviction funding pilot. So they have, I think it was about 60 to 70,000 worth of ANT that's being allocated via conviction voting. So you can use your ANT to vote with conviction voting on which proposals get funded. I believe so far there's like 5 or 7 grants have gone through, and there's still some more up there. So we'll put a link down below if anyone wants to participate in the Aragon conviction funding pilot. More exciting news around conviction voting. Maybe I'll let you announce this one, Griff, and I'll pull it up on the shared screen here so everyone can see what the Common Stack is doing with conviction voting now.
Yeah, I mean, come on, we got jealous. You know, One Hive started playing with conviction voting, and then Aragon went all in and started doing a pilot. So we figured we should do our own little pilot. Oh, Jeff, can you refresh, because it didn't? It's not sharing the screen.
Sure. Let me do that again.
But yeah, so we decided to get in on the game ourselves, of course, and get something up for CSTK token holders to play with. In fact, major shout out and hat tip to Sem Brestles went above and beyond, burning the late night candles to really he stayed up probably 3 or 4 nights in a row until 6 a.m. to get this up. Know that it's still for some reason it's still not sharing. I think you need to actually refresh the page.
Okay, hang on a sec.
And you'll come back. But yeah, so we put out a Medium post to kind of show how, give you the really step-by-step process of using conviction voting. But honestly, you probably don't need to use the Medium post. There, it's working. You can probably just go straight to cv.commonstack.org and you'll see this screen. And if you have CSTK tokens, Jeff doesn't have CSTK tokens in this address, but if you have CSTK tokens, you can actually just click one of these proposals and you'll see you'll see a support this proposal button. And yeah, you can go to the different grants and actually donate to these grants directly with Pan. And but what you really want to do to support this conviction voting project, after you go to it and vote and have fun playing with conviction voting, you actually want to go to the Common Stack Panvala League Gitcoin grant. That is where that is actually what we are allocating with conviction voting. So the goal here is to actually rank the top 15 projects that are proposed on conviction on Gitcoin grants. So you can submit your favorite Gitcoin grants, and then if the money that we receive in this Gitcoin grant, the Panvala League Gitcoin grant, we actually will allocate according to the top 15 grants that you guys rank by voting on conviction voting. And by you guys, I mean CSTK token holders. So this is for the trusted seed, the people who have been contributing to Common Stack to get us where we are today so far. You guys will be able to rank your top 15 Gitcoin grants, and then they will receive the funds that we receive in this in our Panvala League Gitcoin grant. And the cool thing about our Panvala League Gitcoin grant is that if you donate Pan, it will receive a huge multiplier in matching. So Panvala is actually minting, issuing $170,000 worth of Pan tokens. And depending on how much Pan is staked for the Common Stack and how much Pan we receive in our Gitcoin grant relative to the other Panvala League communities, we will be able to allocate the new issuance of Pan to all of our grants in our community. So it should be really fun. Sorry about the confusing rant. in practice, it's really just easy. You just go there, you pick your favorite Gitcoin grants, and then magic will happen at the end, and they'll all get lots of extra money.
And we just published a Medium post, which we'll link down below as well, if you want to get a recap on how you can participate in this new conviction funding experiment. Then you can read the article, and it gives you a full step-by-step how to set it all up in MetaMask and vote, and of course get CSTK tokens, which is the trust token of the common stack. We dish CSTK tokens when people contribute time and labor. If devs come in and help out with things, we dish them tokens. And if people contribute funds to allow us to continue the work that we're doing, we dish tokens for that as well. So if you're interested in getting some CSTK tokens, you can either donate your time or your funds, get some CSTK tokens, and then help us match these Gitcoin grants with PAN. And this has actually been going on for a couple of rounds, pretty under the radar. Griff, how much would you say we've matched and allocated to projects over the past couple of rounds?
Last round, it was about $80,000 that the common stack got to allocate ourselves at PAN's current price. At the time, PAN was worth much less, and it was about 40K that we allocated through this thing. And this round, if things go about the same way they went last round, we should be able to allocate about 80K, about $80,000 worth of Panvala issuance. And that's not counting the actual funds that we get in our Gitcoin grant. Now, we'll see. There's more competition, and maybe fewer people will stake to their PAN to the common stack, or maybe fewer people will donate to this Gitcoin grant. It really, we can't know for certain, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to score some major funds. So this pilot, it's not like testnet ether. Real money is going to be allocated to real projects. So it's definitely worth your time to choose where this money is going to go.
Nice. Yeah, and I mean, it's great. The common stack, is kind of this like community project where all of these, we're building these shared tools for all these projects to use. So it's wonderful we can use that community voice to allocate funds to all of these important projects. Like One Hive Gardens is already up there. Man, those guys have been doing such great work. It's amazing that we can support them through, through what Gitcoin is doing, through what Panvala is doing, and get some funds that we all need to build this shared vision together.
Yeah,
Awesome
last round, Giveth got $30,000 and worth of PAN, and they held it, and now it's worth about $70,000. That came from just this matching round through Panvala. So this is definitely game-changing money, and I'm excited to be testing conviction voting with it. If you want to learn about how Panvala works, they made a really simple Twitter thread that I'll link below. And if you want to learn more about the conviction voting modeling that happened, because all of conviction voting has been very extensively modeled with cadCAD, and you did a walkthrough of the model video, right?
Yeah, we just recorded it. Just went up on the cadCAD YouTube channel, and the tweet should be going out soon, but we'll include a link down below as well to the YouTube walkthrough. So if you want more information on conviction voting, because there's so much interest about it right now, that'll be in the comments below.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of, for our next cadCAD community call, we're going to invite Luke Duncan and Michael Zargam, some of the block science team, because it's the PSD version of the cadCAD call, so North America friendly. And we're gonna talk some more about conviction voting and the model and what's going on in there. So if you're interested, definitely keep in touch on the cadCAD Discord. We'll include a link below, and you can hear about the next community call and learn more about conviction voting and kind of real-time on-chain governance. And of course, like moving it to XDAI, because governance on on-chain governance on Ethereum right now is just super expensive. So for those of you who don't understand the shift to XDAI, that's the primary reason is, transactions go from like $50, $80 to $100 down to like a few cents or fractions of a cent on XDAI. So it really helps with the sort of the traffic congestion on some of these networks at the moment.
Yeah, especially a voting system like conviction voting, it's a little heavy on the gas. So Oregon being on mainnet was kind of killing the pilot, honestly. Like I voted on a few things, and yeah, it only costs like $3 to $6 sometimes, most of the time, to vote. But dude, $36, you have to really want to vote, like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's okay, but XDAI is definitely a future. That's what really the common stack is generally focused on, is XDAI. Giveth has been a validator on XDAI since the very beginning, one of the first 5 validators. And we've been excited about moving to XDAI for a long time. And actually, I'll just go into Giveth too, the updates there, because kind of huge news, almost pretty surprising for me, because I've been Giveth has always been a non-legal entity up until this week. We actually just created a 501c3 using a group from Georgia called the SDG Impact Fund. And the main reason we're doing it is because it's just too good to be true. We have an opportunity, I think, to basically deploy DAOs that are 501c3s, kind of like how open law has created the like LLC DAO. And so Giveth, there's just a huge opportunity there, and we're test driving it now, and we're making major progress. We actually have our tax refund number, and so the next moves in the next 2 weeks will be to receive donations, and we have someone who wants to donate some money to us, about 10K, and then we will use our tax refund status to give them a tax receipt, and actually allocate those funds using the SDG Impact donor advised fund, this DAF. And yeah, I'm really excited to see how it goes. We're still in very much the pilot phase. We need to have the full cycle, but once that's complete, we'll probably write a blog post about it and introduce the SDG Impact guys. And hopefully, I would like to see a lot of the projects in our space, so the nonprofit projects, be able to use this system to actually be able to attract normal donations, from people who want the tax refunds.
Totally. It's a bridge to the traditional financial system. A lot of these, like especially Giveth,
instead of calling it cred, is that me? We already have TE cred, which is confusing. We're going to call.
There you go. I didn't know if there was an echo. I was like, I'm echoing in Griff's voice. Yeah, no, it's great to see
I had to mute myself because I have so many tabs. I have no idea where that window is playing.
It's good now. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, I was just saying the bridge to the. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Are you back? Not yet.
Okay, I think I got it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
cool.
I can hear you.
Yep. Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, it's great to see these, bridges to the traditional financial world, because, a lot of these, crypto philanthropist organizations, especially Giveth, is great in the crypto world when there's, crypto philanthropy, but there are a lot of people who don't have, crypto or MetaMask or understand, how these things work, that still want to support, the open source work that's being done here. So really cool to hear about Giveth adopting the DAF model and becoming a 501c3, and I'd love to chat more about what other projects would benefit from these kind of like legal boilerplates, or other bridges to the fiat world, so that we can continue to fund the important open source work being done here.
Yeah, and really this is kind of the magic that happened when Giveth sort of split up into Giveth and Common Stack, because Common Stack is really taking on the one part of the dream of Giveth, which is to find a way to capture the value that's actually being created by nonprofit work, create an economy around it. And then, but the other side of Giveth is just altruism and allowing people to support the people who, funding public goods and charities. And so, now Giveth can really sit in the place where we're going to start accepting fiat. We're just going to find any way that we can to get money to good people, and that can just be the core cause. And with Willie at the helm, really, of the Giveth 2 push, I can kind of trust that things are going to go well, and really double down on the work that's being done in Common Stack to do the fun crypto economy stuff. So
nice.
yeah.
And speaking of funds for other groups that are doing amazing work, the Token Engineering Commons community, or the Token Engineering community and the Token Engineering Commons are really coming together and making some exciting moves. Do you want to give us a bit of a rundown on what's been happening in the Token Engineering Commons lately?
No, maybe you should, because now I have another
Hey.
meme playing.
So many tabs open. So the token engineering, well, the token engineering community has a number of things going on. There's a book currently being written, the token engineering book, Hitchhiker's Guide to Token Engineering, which is awesome and full of memes that are incredibly educational. We've got the Token Engineering Academy that is kicking off. We'll put a link to that down below as well. That's basically a kind of education and training and just all the background information that you need to familiarize yourself with token engineering and everything that goes into ethical and responsible token design. And actually the cutoff for that, if you want to apply to the Token Engineering Academy, September 17th, 6 p.m. Berlin time is the cutoff for that. So we'll drop a link to the form below where you can sign up to the Token Engineering Academy if you're interested in that. And on the Token Engineering Commons side, we've been working hard on the what we're calling the cultural build. And I think we've chatted about this a bit before, but a lot of these kind of DAO ecosystems are kind of code first and culture and people second, at least in the early days. So we're really interested in building out, starting from the mission and the vision and the values, and making sure that everyone is aligned around what exactly is being built in the token engineering space and what everyone will want to support before we bring in the funds and start deciding. And we've learned this from experience in different DAOs. Griff's been in the DAO space for a number of years. And has seen, lots of great ideas come up and then they, fall apart for one reason or another. So kind of starting from a strong foundation and building from there is a really exciting direction that the token engineering community is taking right now.
Yeah, and we're just now, the Token Engineering Commons is finally basically done with all the processes that need to be in place before we actually start doing the work for making the plan for how do we launch this token engineering economy that we're calling the Token Engineering Commons. And so one thing that we found out we really needed was to incentivize the people who are working to do all this extra upfront work. It's not easy to do a full-on cultural build. That's why it doesn't happen. So we kind of created a new tribute coming out of the hatch. So, we have the hatch tribute, which allocates funds to the funding pool. We have the exit tribute, which allocates funds to the funding pool. Well, now we're having in the hatch, we're going to add what we call a cultural build tribute. And maybe it'll just be a build tribute because it's also going to support the technical build. But it's going to allow us to actually incentivize the people who are currently adding value to the Token Engineering Commons. And so what we're doing is we're basically using the praise bot that we use in the Commons stack. We're going to use it for Token Engineering Commons work. So anytime someone does Token Engineering Commons work, they're going to be dished praise. And then every 2 weeks, we're going to look at all of the praise that has been dished, give it points, and those points will translate into what we're calling Token Engineering Commons impact hours. And the impact hours will be able to be cashed out at the time, once we actually launch the project, for Token Engineering Commons tokens. So we're just going to track the hours in the spreadsheet. It doesn't need to be on chain and have its own token or anything. And then we're going to, when we actually have a successful hatch, but the larger that the hatch is, the more money that everyone will get for each impact hour. So there's like an incentive to actually make this project a success and something everyone wants to be a part of. And so yeah, the general idea is that each impact hour will be worth somewhere between $20 and $200 per hour, impact hour. And yeah, I think we did the first round of quantifying praise, and Shebnem, Angela, and Luke actually were the top winners. And at minimum, the amount that Shebnem should get for her impact hours should be around, I think it was $800 to $8,000, depending on how well we do our hatch. So all this stuff is still in the works, but at least we have a clear way to say, oh, you're doing good work and you're going to be rewarded for it. And so I'm excited because this will make onboarding people to this project, especially subject matter experts that are very busy. It'll give them a reason, and not just like monetary reason, but actually like, oh, I'm going to add value to this community, and then I'm going to have a say, because the Token Engineering Commons tokens are the governance tokens of the community. So they're going to have a say in how this community evolves. And that's the most important part. It's real sweat equity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I really like the way that it's being, measured. You can, it's kind of a dirty word when you talk about like measuring people's contributions, but it's not straight hours. It's not straight impact, it's impact hours. So like if you spend a long time on something with a little impact, yeah, you'll get some tokens, but if you spend, a short amount of time with a high impact, you may get the same amount of tokens as a long time. So you kind of have this balance. So it's an interesting experiment in like valuing people's time. And this came from, extensive discussion within the token engineering community. So this is something this group has decided, this is how we're going to value each other's time and contributions. And then at some point in the future, when we when we do the hatch and bring in funds to allocate to all these projects, there is some, reward flowing back to the people who got it there, because without that, and no one has the incentive to participate. So it's really interesting to see this, this kind of system coming together in the token engineering community, and excited to see where it goes from here.
Yeah, and that's just one of the many proposals that are happening. There's a lot of action in the Token Engineering Commons right now. It's really kicking up. So if you're watching this, you're more than well, and you've suffered through their technical difficulties, man, you are a diehard. So you definitely want to come into the Token Engineering Commons Discord channel, or we also have a Telegram channel. You can read up on the mission and vision, values, and roadmap that we're working on. We'll put all these links below. And yeah, join us on. It's a lot of fun. It feels like right now we put in a lot of work into getting ready for this moment where we can start feeling that we can onboard people with confidence. So this is the moment. We're ready.
Yep. Awesome. And another community that's really been taking off lately is the Community Currency Alliance. They've definitely been a little bit more behind closed doors. I think they're looking more at the the community currency experts. And man, I can't believe the people that, and well, I mean, you're hosting the weekly CCA call, and some of the legends and superstars that are being pulled into those calls is incredible. Like world experts on these things. So who did you have on last week? You had Grace Rachmani and
Mercedes.
Mercedes, yeah.
Mercedes runs community currency in Colombia. That's really cool. It's almost like they created their own economy and /Craigslist /Uber Eats so you can actually you can use your community currency to order delivery food from the random lady who's cooking on the street, down the road. And
this is in the favelas and like the kind of like the unofficial economy in Latin America, right?
Exactly. And
so cool.
It was a really great conversation, really enlightening about the current, more updated stats that we always think, they don't have cell phones, and then no, they have cell phones, they have internet on their phones, they're ready, they have more than most in the States and more Western communities. They actually are creating assets of value, tangible things that, there's the guy making shoes, there's the guy who's making tortillas, and they all can actually start trading with each other. They just need the money. The money's just not there. These people produce way more value than we do in Western culture. Okay. Real tangible value. And they just don't have the money to start interacting with each other. So, her project, Mercedes project, it's like Kishpu or something like that.
Kipu? Yeah, I didn't know how to pronounce it. Q-U-I-P-U.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's super cool. And it's just making sure that people have the liquid currency that they need to actually get stuff done. And yeah, you should watch the channel. And of course, Grace has Grace. I think most people know Grace Rachmani from our community. She has a wealth of knowledge, and she was talking about her what is it, efficiency economy or but it was pretty cool too what she's working on. More future stuff, you know, and that's usually how we like to kind of mix it up, is have like one person who's working on a project but still in the early stages, and one person who has something that's rock solid and can give some lessons. It's always nice to see that dynamic. But
Yeah, for sure. Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's
cool.
the roundup.
Well, yeah, I think that's the research roundup for this week, and we'll catch you all again in 2 weeks' time for the next Common Stack research roundup.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jeff. See you guys.
See you, everybody.